Good evening, Free Enterprise and Survivor fans. Welcome to another exciting VOD review of the Survivor Hero Island Club. My name is Garen, the club captain and ringmaster of the Chaos. Joined here in the booth by Joker Mage, our restreamer, Radio Caller pushing the buttons on tracking, and my co-commentator, Professor Render. How are you tonight, Professor?
I am doing fine. I am not. I am definitely not just a cover up to be Dr. Luge's next apprentice, despite what people think it is. I don't know why you would mention that, but not really mention it.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
well, and in any case, I mean, Golbez is always hiring, I'm sure, for better henchmen than he has. So if you want to put in an application to be the next doctor, I'm sure he'd be willing to take a look at it. Speaking of Golbez, this is his little creation for Cecil, our hero of the seed. So Golbez has created kind of a little bit of a Cecil-centered theme, I guess, considering the theme is collecting and purging of darkness. So on this flag set, we've got 6 objectives, have to do 5. There's a dark matter hunt, which is always fun to see. Forging the Legend Sword of the Adamant, which is on every seed. Defeating DKC and Golbez. Conquering the Crystal Sword Altar, where hopefully there's a Crystal Sword waiting for the hero. And then there was a random quest in there, which happens to be the Sealed Cave, very on point with the Darkness Crystal. And then we have our usual flag set here. It's getting tougher as the weeks go on. Carl's been voted out of the pool already. Cecil, Edge, and Fasoya are restricted if they don't start. Let's see. We've got on the hero flag with also the buy flag. So if you see a character and you say no to him, why not try up again? Because there's 11 characters in the seed. Our shops are wild. There's no apples or sirens. And we've got the usual warp life and back row glitches on with the spoon and a better kit and a random kit going on here. And at this point, the path is being forced to go through the hook route, and we have main and moon spots on for our key items.
So this will be a fun stage to look at. The fun flags look kind of fun, and as you said, it does scale in difficulty, and it definitely looks like it is difficult. And you got to make your choices more difficult when you're picking characters and the like. And hook route's always a fun thing to see in a seed like this.
It is. And before we get started with the festivities here, we have the comedian himself coming over here to explain why he chose these particular flags that he did. So, here is Golbez to explain why exactly he decided to choose this set of things for Cecil. Well, the idea came during the Thanksgiving dinner this time. I get so tired of hearing about mirror room this, paladin that, redemption this, beating your older brother that. So I came up with this little idea as a way of getting a little bit of revenge as a second part of a plan. First part was for Christmas, got him a card. Listing it was from the survivors of his Mysidian reign of terror, and it also cast a toad spell on him when it was over with. I very much laughed under my helmet as Rosa was freaking out over that. But anyways, I wanted to send Cecil around on a fruitless dark matter hunt, taking away some of the treasure that he can find, and get the darkness crystal, get the crystal sword altar, beat me again, haha, and then beat himself. Best way to do it.
Hmm, interesting.
But Golbez, did Rose ever find out you were behind that little card thing? No, no, of course she has no idea. Otherwise, she'd probably cast size on me and throw me with the cats again. You realize we're broadcasting live, right? Uh, anyways, Radiant foiled again, as usual, but we're going to get started with this in about 10 seconds here. So good luck to Tall Grant and BG Rich, even though this race has already happened. But good luck anyways.
Yeah, see how these two runners played it out, and we'll just go from here. So, what do you expect from this these results here? Even though this is like a last week's race.
Well, I mean, first we're going to see what the starting things are. So we're starting with a Cid. We've got some leg in the castle, having a legend sword, and it looks like that is the which kit gives the 70 pots. We're starting with a lot of consumables here.
Well, we do have at least one part of the forge just given to us, so I mean that's not a bad start.
No, it's Golvez's medium make you forget the confession. I don't know. That's a thought. All right, so we're getting on our way here. So with Wildish loot, max tier 6, can make some sense to go check out some of the out of the way spots. We see Tall Grant starting off here in the village of Mist. Excellent goes to the other side of it. It looks like BG Rich is going to start off with the free treasury. Got a black sword and some dark matter. Tall Grant's side. BG Rich is going to check the bedward here for our free item. It's a Luca key. Well, there's a sealed cave on the table right away.
Yeah, we have access to it once we get to the hook route. Of course, we would ideally be looking to do it after we get some XP on our characters, but it's a nice start. You'll both talking will slink by to it eventually. But yeah, it looks like Tallgrant's heading to a waterfall cave. The with it being wildish, this has a it's more better to head over here because
Hmm.
you there is a higher volume of chests in this area. It does take a lot of time, yes, but it I would say it's worth it because you just because of the amount of chests in Waterfall Cave this early on in the game.
Found a siren, which is nice because there's not any in the stores, and also found a glass helmet. That's some nice early defense. BG Rich found a crystal armor in the free Troya treasury, and is going to come by here to check out the Watery Pass as well. If either of them, let's check out the back of Watery Pass because that can also sometimes have some goodies in it. And Grant will say yes. We're going to check this out.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
defense
both
sword.
go on. Yeah, so that defense sword's actually good. Well, you like to see defense sword relatively early on. It's a nice early spike. You like to see better weapons than that, but uh, defense sword being arguably the third best weapon in the game, so
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
not bad to hold on to it.
it'd be really good for a Kane most of the way through if Kane decides to show his traitorous face in this seed. Might figure out that maybe Cecil's got enough to deal with one traitorous crutch in the family, so we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Rich is going to head over for Damesian Castle. There is usually some good loot here on T Wildish. See if it holds true again. It's taking a bit of a further pass through the watery pass than we sometimes see without an exit caster, but, you know, as you say, a lot of chests there, it makes some sense.
We do find two dark matters in this chest, this spot, and we also did see karate shirts, and I did see a dancing dagger. Didn't see the rest of it, but
Yeah, I didn't catch the rest of it either, but I mean, the dark matter is a little bit frustrating because really, unless one of those other 5 objectives is like almost totally unbeatable where it happens to be, you probably aren't doing the dark matter hunt just because it takes so long to get the 30 dark matters out of the chests.
mhm.
I mean, the design of it was sort of like it was almost intended as it's a dummy. It's like go do the other 5 because it just takes so long to get 30 dark matters most of the time, especially if you don't know where all the free chests happen to be in the game. Which I mean, there's a lot of chests I couldn't tell you last time I looted them on a play.
In the meantime, Beachy Rich will be the first one of the two to head into the Antlion cave and start plundering the chests here. Um, and again, another one of those places where the amount of chests is a lot on T Wildish. So there's a lot of opportunities to get dark matter to work towards that objective, and maybe some spikes, but some power spikes here. I think T Wildish, and this is lowered lower, if I remember this right. Or I was cheaper. I forget.
Yeah, Wildish has better chances than Pro does to turn up good loot. In the early spots here, Pro would probably weight this more towards the later areas of the game.
Right. It's just it's the inverse of it's basically the inverse of Pro. Well,
yeah, I mean it's not as crazy as Wild, where it's like you can have a crystal sword sitting literally anywhere unless you have a tier setting, but you can find some really good stuff early, like that defense sword in the watery pass that we saw, and we did see a water hag taking a bath, so very on brand for a water hag, but we're not going to take that because there's no real value to that. You see an Odin here sitting in Mount Hobs with a Palom, yeah. So Grimoire gets the job done there.
Yeah, and that Grimoire ended up rolling into Sylph, so that's a good roll there.
You see that there's an octopus sitting in the Antlion cave, a bit of French vanilla there in a sense, because it's supposed to be at the watery pass right before.
Although I will say that the quote-unquote Jaws does actually make a bit of sense with Octoman here.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. I mean, the whole thing about an octopus laying whatever kid it's going to lay is a little bit weird, but we'll see if it makes sense there too.
In the meantime, Talgrant is going to head into Antlion Cave to follow PG Rich.
It will probably be a little bit faster for Talgrant because that Palom knows Lit 2, and that's going to cook that octopus very fast. It's a spoon. Well, that's a nice bit of cutlery if we happen to see an Eddy early on in the seed, or an edge to dart it, one of the two.
Yeah, not a bad find. It also counts towards the key item pool, so towards the key item count. So it works. I'm not too upset about seeing the spoon there. It's a good utility in case we do find those two characters.
Yep, and both are guaranteed to show up somewhere because the only one not showing up in the seed is Tella, but you know, it could be behind a giant that's totally not required, could be behind a package. You never know where they're hiding exactly. And here comes that Lit 2, and we have a very nasty smell of octopus. Oh, Grant, come on, don't microwave the octopus. Smells. It's his spoon. We have X-Scales for sale over in Fabul and rune axes. That's a nice shop. Expensive, but it's nice.
Yeah, that is a good consideration when we're starting to gear up our characters. So I'm sure PG will probably want to keep that in mind, and unless there is a better shop available other than this Fabul shop.
Yeah, well, the thing with the forge here for the hero is it's like Cecil has a chance for some real zonks in his pool, unlike some of the other ones. So it's not guaranteed that the forge is going to give anything. I mean, no, it would give an X-Scale, but here it may give Ellie Burn, for example, which is totally worthless. And of course, there's no guarantee there's holy swords sitting around, although Eldon Castle is known for giving them out. See if either of the runners decides to take Eldon Castle boxes because, you know, it's possible that they have else, but crystal swords, but maybe they don't.
It's something that it definitely should scout out in case you do find a crystal sword. And with this being, and you do make a good point about the forge. Cecil in particular has the way that it with Cecil's weapons that are in FF8 F4 Advance, only one is good, and that's the Lightbringer. The rest are just like not the best.
That's putting it mildly, but it's like you already had so much good stuff with crystal swords. It's like you can't really make two game-breaking weapons for them, and that's just the overkill.
Yeah.
Especially if we had ambidextrous on, and then we just have complete power overwhelming, and but the monsters die before you even swing the sword.
By the time if you had ambidextrous, if you had Lightbringer and crystal, that's just way too overkill, even for me.
But we have full leg sitting over here in Fabul defense, which means that the one in Baron is the quarter leg.
Okay, good information to have early on.
Yeah, now, again, Tallgrant's going to benefit from having the Palamon line here because Ice 2 makes this Ruby very easy, whereas it's not going to be very easy for BG Rich with only Cecil and Sid. Unless one of them has an Ice Arrow, which I don't think we've seen yet. Oh, Earth Crystal from Fabul, that's a treasury.
All right, BG Rich starts his fights with the leg.
It's only doing about 200 damage a cycle, so that's gonna need some extra stuff to get out there. Got some vampires, that'll work. Stardust.
Not gonna lie, I've never realized those spots were in the throne room of Fabul.
I don't think I've ever looted them on stream myself, so that's good to know. It's kind of like finding out that the Kokol has one of those chests right by his staircase. Tallgrant's going to give us a look at Mount Ordeals, which is important to get Cecil online because DKC is just no KC in this particular flag set. You don't want to go all through the game without going through this mountain.
Yeah, and oh god.
Leg is down on BG Rich's side, so got through it.
Yeah, with BG Rich's fight, it's a lot slower on account of not having the Palom that Talgrant has. So BG Rich would had to just play the long game and just start swinging and shooting arrows and stuff.
And we have a heroine robe in the Texas chest. That would be good if we find someone to put it on. Don't have anybody currently. Everybody hide behind Cecil. And we've got some form of guard here.
Set guard is the Baron guards.
Yep, so they're going to start casting size. So Cecil is now mini Cecil. Tallgrant did buy coffins, so this is a nice way to get a life glitch off and get this fight over with pretty quick.
So yeah, we'll get some extra XP for this fight here. So not a bad find.
Yep. I've got heal pots, might as well use them. BG Rich is going to go and check Mount Hobs, and we'll find the Palom here, which will be very useful for the early game. We're going to take a safety save. Pretty good. There could be some really nasty fights at this back row spot. It is the Magus Sisters. A little bit rude to see here.
Yeah, because you have to deal with a delta attack at the very start of the fight.
Yep, and that delta attack can one-shot the two weaker characters here.
Yeah, and because of back attacking, that means that the enemies will you start like dead last in the ATP count. So it means all the enemies will just start attacking right away.
Yep, looks like we're going to play some life roulette here, possibly, with Alum. Or we're just going to put a rune axe on Sid and let him go to town. That's the end of Indy for now. Young Claws in the back of Mount Hobs. That seems on brand, considering that's where you get him in the vanilla game. Bye-bye, Cindy. Oops.
Oops. All right, no worries. We can recover that just so that Palom still gets the XP.
A little bit of youthful boisterism by Palom, but he's only 5. He hasn't learned these sorts of tricks yet.
Yeah. So we did see earlier that BG Rich did go up to Hobs again, and does see the Palom, and probably not thrilled to see it after finishing up Antlion and Fabul, which it had Otto, Mammoth, and Golbez had full leg respectively. So, yeah. Oh, that's a big find.
We have a hook here on Mount Ordeals, so not only is it useful to get Cecil online, it's actually required because it's your way underground. So we see that Cecil's demons today are a CPU. Apparently, Cecil is not with the smartphone generation. It is also mild. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, really, that's why would you be attacking my software, like the stuff that I made? I am a professor after all. I'm a scientist. This is my stuff. Why are you attacking my stuff, Cecil? Stop, please.
Wait, so you're behind the CPU?
In a way, yeah.
You want to explain?
Well, look, I might be a bear, but at least I bring some technology that the world has never seen, and they are attacking my stuff. I made the giant. Straight. Yeah, I was the one behind the giant all along. Not Uluge.
Okay, so anyone who has trouble with the CPU in the future, please send your complaints to Professor Renderer, and I'm sure he'll get right on those.
Anyway, that's a CPU fight done.
Yeah, it can be a little bit rude there because, I mean, Cecil at level 1 doesn't exactly have the accuracy to get to the back row very easily. Not through it. That's where our Grimoire or that Dancing Dagger can be a little bit helpful to get through. Elder Medio, even though he's not in the seed. Sorry, Tella. You were voted out in the last little bit there. He's watching from home on his couch. Probably happy he hasn't got to go through all this stuff, because he's still up there in age. Rich is now taking on the Magus Sisters, and they like Palom on both sides. And they're going pretty fast. He's already lost 2 characters there. Oop.
Yeah. He does at least survive it. Although I don't know if that will last for much longer. Depends on how this roll. This is the virus roll, right?
Yeah,
But
oof. That would one shot even at full health. Yeah, that one's a little bit rough because I mean, I might turn the battle speed down a little bit, maybe to 3, because they're going very, very fast at this particular junction.
yeah, I was gonna mention that potentially lowering the battle speed just so that it's at least more manageable than just suddenly losing 2 of your characters in a blink of an eye. Talgren does spot Bacchus wine.
Oh dear, we found the wine supply. Cecil go Burr, maybe with he's got a defense sword.
It works for now, at least.
I wonder if Cecil on Beej Rich's side is wearing that black sword, because that would increase the agility and make Sid slower in this case, and probably also Palom too. Because they are getting off 2 attacks to every one that he's getting off, which is not going to help when they can basically just one-shot like this.
Okay, Talgren is going to go ahead and look inside the treasury to see if he could spike something here. That's a Zeus gauntlet.
There was a life staff there as well. Some ribbons, white spear, so Kane's all said if he shows up with a Stardust Rod for that Palom. Murder Kid go with Burr. Doesn't know Quake yet, but he'll be Quake Kid soon enough.
And that's not a bad haul for the treasury. Talgren will have to play around with an inventory boss for the moment, but he does have a lot of options. Does have a lot of things that he would want to keep. So, yeah, there we go.
It gets locked behind the treasury because that's always the fun thing in the free one with the switches. Decides not to take the last 4. Looks like BG Rich is going to temporarily head out of Ordeals because the Mega Sisters might come back with some more experience later on. Maybe another character if he wants to try the Baron Inn to get another character.
Yeah, with the issues that BG Rich was having with the Mega Sisters, it would be better just to work on something else in the meantime, get some XP up so that when BG Rich does decide to return, he'll have access to the he'll be able to finish up the Mega Sisters and then eventually lead up to the hook.
Yeah, so we always have to come back here because there's no other way to get underground without it, but and also you really want to take Cecil deep into this without getting him up to Paladin. But when you hit a roadblock, sometimes the best thing to do is bounce off it, try something else. Oh, look who's here. It's an Eddie.
So we do have at least one other character that we can use. We have a spoon available for him to use. So yeah, not a bad find. Antlion's just chilling in the inn. Just coming down from the moon just to have some drinks.
Yep. Grant is going up Zot and takes the Flame Dog chest. Oh, there's the Holy Sword right there. So when you shop for next kill, you got a free one. Oh, mostly free. So Cecil go Burr. He also got some levels because it was still level 1. See that there is Dr. Luge in the Baron Inn at the 2nd spot.
Yes, my apprentice. Who I don't want to associate with because he messes around with mutations. I just build machines. Bye.
The good doctor is out of the way without giving a word in edgewise, and there's an opening now in Golbez's staff if you want to try replacing the good doctor.
I'm a better doctor. I mean,
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it helps you or hurts you in this particular case.
at least I'm not messing with life. I'm not that sadistic of a person. I am not going out of my way to, I don't know, just create mutations out of, oh, I don't know, the two the King and Queen Evelyn. At least I'm not that bad. I just built machines. I just said the CPU is what is my creation.
Do the machines do mutations?
No.
Ah, well, talk to Golbez and see if it's on his list of things to get done. He seems to have a few screws loose, possibly, so I'm not sure if that helps you or hurts you with the job candidacy.
I have many screws loose.
Well, Sid has a screwdriver if we see him, so if you want to make use of that, might not tighten the right ones, but
Okay.
See, there's a Leviathan sitting here in the dot one spot, I think.
That is that one. I believe it was that one.
Yeah, it has to be. Otherwise, there'll be more characters here because I don't think you get a dupe Sid and a dupe Alum this early. But I just work here. I don't know. Okay, that is one. Well, we have Rosa, who is taken over the spot of kidnapper instead of kidnappee. Lunar Sparkle, which is sitting now in Dwarf 2 that we know about. And who did Rosa kidnap today? Well, the other mage in the seed, Rydia.
Okay. I guess. I don't know how to respond to that.
Some questions are best left unasked. So we have a vanilla Val here, and no pain to jump through it. So we're gonna be relying on getting the physical damage done here. Xcal on Cecil will help.
Rosa is there. I'm not sure if... Okay, Rosa does not have a bow equipped.
Doesn't, and also given she's at base level, I don't think she's going to do very much damage anyways. They're going to rely on Cecil to power through this.
I was preferring to aim, just so that she can just aim through the defense.
Yeah, but I mean, Cecil's doing over 1,000 damage a hit. She's going to hit for maybe a couple hundred, if even that much.
Yeah, I'm just pointing it out. Just that's another thing that is a mechanic that exists.
Yep, and if she had more levels, I would say that'd be a great choice. But as it is, she's not going to help out too much. I mean, Sid's doing 150. Eat your meaty, Sid. He needs more beef here. We're gonna play Life Roulette. We've got 70 life pots from the starting kit, so why not? Vale likes Rosa a lot.
I mean, it's not a bad choice. It's better than hitting Cecil, that's for sure.
Yeah, Cecil would be a bit annoying at this point because he's the damage output. Oh, now Rydia goes down. And Sid is now a statue. We're through.
I'll say right now that was some good RNG. Anytime that Cecil would have taken a KO, it would have been more time just to get him back up to health, hopefully not get hit again. and then set up another pocket to start attacking again.
This is why Golbez is always very frustrated with his minions. It's like, come on, you couldn't hit him once in that whole sequence? But anyways, Rosa knows exit now. We are out of the tower. And does this pay off? Oh, there's a twin harp. That is a potential rabbit hole because it's not an objective in this flag set. You take the time to go listen to the music. Well, Rosa's going to be the heroine to go with Cecil the hero, so cliche alert.
BG Rich is going to is working on the Sisters again. This was one a lot more smoother than before on account of having these Edward. Although I will say though the Palom going down did throw a wrench in the works, but hey, we got through it. BG Rich will soon get the hook.
Yep, and Cecil will then be online and finally be able to start doing some better damage than DKC can. Grant is going to check out the Baron Inn and realize, hey, there's an Eddie here that we've hit a spoon for nearly a good 20 minutes now. Sylvia, have you been looking at some confidential HR memos here? You know, Golbez does have some lawyers in the family, and everyone's kind of pushing this whole show thing because he owes them money. Alright, so Doctor on one screen, CPU on the other screen. Just stinky. Better make it for a good band name one of these days. This is a samurai shield from the Eddie fight. The real value is the Eddie that we can decide to put online, and Tallgrant says, goodbye, Sid. Elvin, take it up with Grant when you see him next time, okay?
Yeah, I think at this point now, Sid, Eddie will be more of a better choice for us compared to Sid, and that's also because of the fact that we do have the spoon in play. Otherwise, we could also use them as a. Or no, this is a hero flag. Never mind. This is Anchor set up as hero.
Yeah, really, in these flags, I mean, Sid's main value comes from when he's the hero and can get access to some of those amazing forges like Fiery Hammer or, Gigant Axe or something like that. This setting, I mean, he's not given any great weapons. I mean, Artie Bow, Artie Arrow is probably the best he's got. And if you get an adamant armor, you probably want it on somebody other than him. And not Cecil because of the anchoring issues, but, you might put it on Eddie or on Palom or something like that. Alright, so BG Rich is through and has a Paladin online. That'd be awesome to go through. Has not found the X-Kill yet, but might get it if going up the Tower of Zot. Grant is going to give us a check of the front of. Okay, guess not. But there's a cave there on that side, but you should don't go through that one. We'll give us a check of the back of this cave. We do have 2 boss hunts on. We haven't seen either one yet. It's a Dark Elf.
this one will be really easy.
Yeah, this is taking just more time than anything else because you have to get 2 hits off on Dark Elf no matter how much your first hit lands for. Because there's a script in there to reset it. I'm going here for the loot try. There's a dark matter, I guess, for... Oh, that's it. Golbez taking that meme chest and throwing a dark matter in there. Or more likely a dark imp henchman because, you know, all the dirty work is done by imps in this game. Those Golbos remind us don't take baths. Alright, looks like we are going to get the Antlion Castle play to see if there is a holy sword hiding here for us.
We have enough levels to make this not a bad fight, or to make any of the trap monster best chests, excuse me, not that big of a deal.
We've got a rune axe to deal with the mad ogres. We've got I think Callum should know Quake at that level. Ooh, don't want to cover though because covering. I'm sorry. Yeah, parry takes away the cover ability. Which is actually a fairly logical choice. I mean, if you're trying to defend yourself, you probably don't want to defend other people. Didn't see that. You? We have another one right downstairs. These are the mad ogres.
These can be, well, we were trying to coffin there, but the Mad Ogres decided, nah, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Cecil will definitely live through this. There's no danger of losing this fight at this point. But you might want to get some XP for some of those other characters who are currently napping on the floor.
Seems like before this, we're gonna have some lives coming out for the Mad Ogres so that we get more XP on, and we're gonna try and life up the rest of our party so that we can get into a decent state, or just leave Liberty down.
Yeah, apparently. All right, so for that, I didn't see it was a life staff. I didn't see what Talrant got there. Sorry. Going through boxes must not have been all that great. It has lots of coffins. I'm going to use them to take out these black cats and lamias. Doesn't want to deal with the bluster that they sometimes do. Hit them and you don't kill them. Makes total sense. Looks like Rydia might not be long for this party, since she is not being gotten back up to participate in the spoils. Which means the Bahamut orb is probably sitting right behind this chest. Let's just see if that's true. Stardust Rod again. Well, that's good for her. Dwarf Axe for macroing a cane if one shows up. But I think it's time for Talgrant to head off to the hook route to see what character we've got here, and more importantly, what boss do we have here? I think there's still some rude options on the table for that boss here on the hook route. It will be really, really nasty to see here. That's about the party that we have, but it's just rude in general.
So in the meantime, well, Talgrant's gonna go ahead and start clearing up his inventory, trying to get some health or gold rather. Sorry. So we'll see what we find in this shop.
Okay, and meanwhile, to update on the dark matter count, in case that is interesting, you told me you currently have about 17 to 12 in favor of Tallgrant here on the stream. George is also going to take the Flame Dog and get the Holy Sword that comes out of it. So, Aribo sitting for Tallgrant. That's nice for agility and damage. Does find the Sailman chest here. Is in a little bit of a weak state to find it, so might end up losing some people. Well, there's just going to be a quake. So, constructs back to the earth for you. Ooh,
Oh, hey.
adamant armor.
We know exactly who we're going to put that on.
Not who I would have chosen for it, actually.
Really? I would have been fine with the Cecil, personally.
Mainly because with Cecil and agility, it's like I don't want a fast anchor in the later game. I would probably put that on Edward and let Adam and Spoonward go to town.
Fair assessment.
I'm just thinking about the later game. I mean, for now it's probably fine, but you know, Cecil is going to outspeed pretty much everybody else and leave the mages in the dust. And you know, Eddie, it's like that Spoon is 255 attack power, so it's like you get all the benefit of the stat multipliers without having to take any loss in your attack power. Which, you know, Cecil's X-Scale is up there, but it's not 255.
I will say, if we do decide to put that on the put the adamant onto Eddie in the future, I think we're at the point where it should be okay for Cecil to take the adamant sickness, and when we get later into the run, that's just my take on it.
Yeah, that might be totally fine. Especially most of the bosses that do elemental magic are already out of the way. We've already seen Ruby, that's out of the way. We've seen Leviathan. We've not yet seen Elements or what I'm thinking of here that does a lot of magic damage.
Golbez.
Well, Golbez, yeah, but I mean that's gonna be Starveil. You don't really worry about that as long as you get your Starveils off.
Right.
All right, so let's see. So Tallgrant is diving the Tower of Babel hook route. We'll get there somewhat soon. Dupe Rydia sitting there, so that's not terribly exciting because she's already taking a nap in this party. Maybe the Seed's revenge for him trying to leave her down on the ground, trying to replace her preemptively. It's like, nope, not yet. Finds the Mad Ogre chest down here. We're going to use some more coffins, because why not? You take them with you.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea just to just reduce the amount of mad ogres that are on the field, so it's not that like less to deal with.
Yep, and we'll still keep a coffin reserve in case we find some dark imps or soldiers later on to use it on, but we're not going to see many more opportunities to use it outside this tower. And there's another Zeus Gauntlet.
Not a bad find still.
Yep, so BG Rich says no to Rydia off the start, decides to keep the Sid around for the time being. I understand you don't want to necessarily take the Rydia here because, again, she takes a long time to level, it's a horrible XP curve. Really not that useful on the Z fight until you get to Nuke, and that's just going to take a lot of work and possibly a lot of grinding. Oh, look who it is here. It's Hook 1. It is DKC himself. And that's going to be a little bit painful because DKC does not care about your adamant armor there. So Tallgrant will burn an elixir to get Cecil through it. The Cure 2 is not going to be enough. So something
It,
about justice, yeah.
it at least is an objective. Even if we and this doesn't really matter at all if our party goes down, because this is on a spot that doesn't give XP anyway. So we're still fine.
Oh yeah. I won't take a safety save here because Mylon is not terribly threatening, no matter which one of the versions it is here. It is Mylon and Friends, which again, that is kind of nice to see here because there's not a whole lot of threat from this particular one here. I'm just going to put an Xcal on Cecil, probably Zerk up with that. And make sure we take the 4 gas out of the way before he takes out Mylon. Because, fun fact here about this fight, if you happen to take out the Mylon and the gas are still up, they suddenly become freight trains and will basically turn the party to dust.
And even if Telegram were to take a safety save, it would probably wouldn't be all that important anyway, because Mylon and Friends will just shield the party back up, because that's how the works. That's how Ruby works in the vanilla game anyway. He wants a fair fight, so he heals your party.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason for a safety save here is if you either don't know what it is because it's Lunar Sparkle, or if it's a particularly tough fight here, which Mylon fights, neither one of them really is, because the other one, Mylon Z, is just going to attack you not very fast, not very threatening at this spot, and this one, it's like, it's going to just do Lit 1, also not very threatening, and a punch here and there. We are still basically hating on Rydia today. She is going to apparently be down until she gets replaced.
So this would probably be either a Edge or Fusoya. Probably maybe Edge.
Huh? Oh, you're talking about the potential replacement.
The replacement, yeah.
I've seen this. Where are these on the screen?
That's I should have clarified. The potential possible could be either maybe Edge or Fusoya. Could be a different character that I'm not thinking of at the moment.
Yep, we see that Pitfall is undefeated on Tallgrant's side. Falls to it yet again. We see that the top of Zot is top of Babel is a Lunar Sparkle of some sort. But we're going to get some music from VG Rich here, who is going down into Cave Magnus. This is a spot that Tallgrant faded, at least initially. So VG Rich is really hoping there is some value here, so that would possibly give a leg up on Tallgrant, where he has to come back to this later after a lot of checks. It's a bit of a gamble. This is a check that takes a long time to do. But if it has something of value, which at this point is going to be mostly the Darkness Crystal, it could pay off really, really big, because we're basically looking for a Darkness Crystal, an Adamant, and that's it, really, because everything else would be accessible at that point for our objective list. Grant is going to take a stop by the Dwarf Castle. Even though the objective is to complete the Sealed Cave, the Warp Glitch is on, so you can take care of the boss at that spot right now and just go down and collect your item later.
Yeah, and that's something that Tallgrant is going to take full advantage of. There are hourglasses.
Yes, the discount hourglass ones. Only see them, I think, on S Wild, because normally those don't appear. We just get the hourglass 2s, but they'll still do the job, just not for quite as long as the hourglass 2s.
But for now, DJ Spooning B is gonna go ahead and play some tunes for us, and we'll be back in just a second here. So
Yeah.
that was a very extended version of Octopath Traveler music.
Yes, you only get one rendition tonight, but it's extremely long because we had a gauntlet there. It asks you to see if it gives a rat tail, which might have value. We don't know. We'll find out. And also, wondering about Luca here. She's wearing a charm rod as her jewelry. That seems like it'd be kind of bad news for her potential suitors there.
Another thing worth pointing out here is that we did see a vanilla darkness crystal.
Yes. So, playing right into the theme of the seed here, it's like collect and purge your darkness. Not only is you getting the vanilla location of the darkness crystal, it's actually a vanilla darkness crystal. Now, it'd be really funny if an evil wall is there just to complete the vanilla trifecta, but we'll see about that. Ooh, the rat tail does have value. That's the adamant armor. So Tallgrand does not go back and do that. If Magnus gonna have to finish the dark matter hunt off. Now, granted, he's already got a lot of dark matters, but still have to get 30 of them, which means more looting, which takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, so that means the twin harp is going to be of value here. Yeah, so that means Tallgrand will have to go through the Alta Gauntlet and listen to a bunch of a whole lot of Path Traveler.
It seems like it's a good tune for a gauntlet fight.
Yeah, it sounded nice.
All right, so doubling back, Beach Church is going to show us the Dark Elf spot here, and it looks like we'll reset out of it. We haven't seen Fu yet, which is the only reason that would be really kind of valuable at this point, given where we are on the seed. Cover strats and Cecil here to get the chest down. That cover on Palom was not necessary because he'll automatically cover everybody anyways, except for Rydia, because you can't cover those who are tapping. Let's see, anything good out of this chest? We'll see. Yeah, Crystal Ring, that's decent. Inventory boss strikes again, though. Okay, while we wait for the inventory screens to clear here, just want to give a shout out again to Joker Mage, our restreamer, with the and they're on the screen. Rydia Caller doing the tracking, and Professor Render joining me here on the commentary. Need some more checks of the chests over here in the Fey March. Oh, web, that's nice. See, the Fey March freebie today is Silent Staff.
It's a silent staff. Move along.
Now, it's kind of interesting that Tallgrand is not checking the bosses here because we do still have a Golbez hunt on. We've not seen him yet. Yeah, because in this flag set, since the summon flag is off, those bosses can't have any key items. But the boss hunt is over with, we might still need that. But instead, we're going to get a setup of the Sheila 1 check, looks like. Or we're going to get some looting. This looks like we are setting up Quack Kid to do a bunch of very early quakes that will get us going.
Tallgrand's gonna look in the Self Cave to find the monsters in a box to find anything good.
Yeah, and this is probably the nastiest one to pull early because this one, monsters get a chance to get actions first, especially on RA Battle Speed 1, sorry, but you know, we just lose an Eddie here. Some would say it's not a big deal, others would be very offended by that. Get through it though. Bahamut orb. Well, the seed is telling you something about that choice to leave Rydia on the ground there, Tall Grant. And that something is...
I think if anything, it's kind of late for that Bahamut to come into play. So because of Seabuy. So
Oh yeah, I definitely would agree with you there. Okay, Fallon gets it off in time, because otherwise that would have been very bad news. Another Holy Sword. Lots of nice stuff for Edge to Dart if we ever see him in this seed. Rich is getting the news that this is going to go through Mylon. For ghosts. Much experience we could be getting, because there's only 6 key items on Tall Grant's side here right now, so normal XP not doubled. It's a full moon, not too helpful. Volvol's breath doesn't work because adamant crystal. Elm's not getting anywhere on that, and Arrow will also keep Rosa from getting hit on that. So, our Dwarf Axe, and now we want to see there. Oh, Curse Ring. So if you want a Cursed Paladin, Oxymoron alert, you can do it. Grant's going through and looting more of the Sylph Cave, probably looking for those dark matters to get the count up to 30. Maybe deciding to say, to heck with this Golbez hunt, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, if Tall Grant's looking for dark matters, I think the call here is that, okay, I've already done Dark Knight. I am looking. I have a darkness crystal. I am currently in the hunt for a Luca key and my adamant rock. The only one who knows who had it was BG Rich. The adamant rock was from the Rat Tail, and the Luca key was early in, and I'm trying to blank where that was from.
I just want to say, Fabul, could you help us out there? Where did we see that Luca key from? I know it was very, very early.
Roya.
Roya, oh, it's Bedward. Okay, so apparently, Ogre must have forgotten that we went to the Tower of Zot then. So, yeah, that's something you might forget about for a while at this point.
Yeah, that is a decision, and eventually Tall Grant will have to go and get that Luca key from Bedward. Question remains, when will that happen?
I mean, it doesn't technically have to. I mean, you can fade one of these quests. It can be that one, but that would mean he would have to go down the Magnus to get the other one and find Golbez and complete the Dark Matter hunt. So, depends on where all these things are. If Golbez is sitting behind the package, which would be kind of hilarious, that would be kind of also take a long time to find. Is that package check? Are you going to gamble with it on this kind of a flag set? You would. We are trading adamant sicknesses back and forth. Good advertising for the adamant factory. It's like, wear armor and then be cursed for life after you take it off. Now we've got a vanilla ghost chest. Still funny to see every now and again. Okay, this could be a little bit rude.
Yeah, this came up. The hourglass came right after the ATP calculation was already determined, and rather the ghosts had queued up their attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to kill anybody because Cecil has the adamant and that will get through it. It's just a little bit inconvenient because it takes some time now to get through it. Tor Rages, unfortunately not here. They're not going to do much. We need to get some characters back up, get some Quakes off. Don't know why ghosts are vulnerable to Quake, but fantasy lore for everybody, at least for Enterprise style. White Spear for Kane. Look, right, in the vanilla game for here, the odds that Rydia has Quake very, very low because she gets it very late in her spell tree. Right, being told that Tall Grant is only 3 dark matters away from completing the quest. So Tall Grant is better at this than I am because I would be nowhere near 27 at this point if I was running this thing. And only about half as many for our other racer, BG Rich. So BG Rich is planning on putting as much effort into getting the dark matters. It depends, I guess, on your choice of whether when you start the seed, are you going for it or not. Because if you are, you're going to take the extra time to loot. If you're not, then they're basically just wasting space in the inventory.
With this, with BG Rich just now seeing Dark Knight, I think it's still too early to make a final deliberation on it on the call, but
yeah, and unfortunately, DKC wipes out the party because, yeah, Sid's got a lot of HP, but did not have the speed to get through it to get in action. I'll take that heroine off of Rosa so she does not go first because she's going to go down before she can take an action.
Tall Grant is going to take a look at the first Sheila 1.
It's a life staff. That is not what you wanted to see there. And life staffs are good and all, but most of the time in these flags, we aren't really worried about our healing power, except maybe on Z. So that means it is time for music, which we're not going to be able to hear on Tall Grant's side, but just know what's going on, and looks like BG Rich is going to take some fights in the Hour of Babel here to get some extra HP, extra levels. As BG Rich is telling us in the chat, here comes the pain. This does sometimes happen on the hook route where you face a encounter that is a little bit tough for where you are. And, you know, most problems in for Enterprise you can level your way out of. It just takes time, and it always kind of feels a little bit bad, but you know, if you can't get through it, you have 2 choices: bounce off of it or get more power. But yeah, DKC in spot 1 is a nightmare. I mean, if it was in spot 2, I wouldn't be as bad. But spot 1 is A, very fast, and B, it's got a good hit to it there. Bringing down the battle speed would be a help here. I mean, especially if you go down to like battle speed 5, battle speed 6. Taking the heroine off of Rosa would probably help because her HP is too low to survive. You get somebody else as the first action there. We don't have anything to really slow Cecil down. You can put the Dwarf X on, that will slow him down. Maybe get an extra action in there against the DKC. Anything else will really speed up anybody else in the party, because I don't think Rich had the crystal ring at that point, or I mean, there is the adamant. You can always switch that if he has it. I don't remember. Did Rich get the adamant on in the Stillman? I don't remember.
Um.
Oof.
Yeah, that didn't work out as well.
I mean, it is a good idea to have Palom down, because he's not going to survive this anyway. So the fewer you have up, the sooner you get around to a Sid to take an action that will get through. 'Cause all you really need on this is Sid has to get 1 Cure 2 off on him somehow. He'll get through.
All right. While Tal Grant is going through his music, BG Rich is going to take another attempt at the fight here.
So Rydia is down. Cecil gets an action, but Cure 2 on him is not going to get through it because that's not enough. Instead, that would have worked. Okay, let's see. George is going to take another stab at this DKC. I mean, getting close. All right, use it on Sid. And enough? 675. That might get through. Yes, that will get through. Now we were focusing on that. First off, please save PG Rich. You know, I'll go through that again, hopefully. Algren is facing off on the gauntlet over here. They get into it a little bit faster just by virtue of a lot of the party was down before we ever got there. One reason that you could go and set up the shield of 1 is get everybody low HP. You could sort of virus them all off. PG Rich will go and save, just in case.
Yeah, so I don't blame BG Rich for doing this, because he took a lot of resets on DKC, and at this point, since he did eventually get over it.
Yeah,
go ahead.
One thing I'm noticing is Cecil still has the adamant armor on, which means that Cecil's pretty fast anchored, so it's not going to help you really against the KCer, because everybody else is going to be going super slow. Alright, but anyways, we're on to the Mylon and friends, as Tall Grant mops up the rest of this gauntlet. And we see the gas are doing their thing. The drain that is much more effective when you see it on the vanilla game, but this late here, there's no real force behind that drain spell, so it's just more annoying and time wasting than anything else. Grant will get the rat tail. I imagine they'll be turned in right away to see if it's anything. We'll be rewarded with an adamant rock off of it, as we know. And that will be 2 objectives down for Tall Grant. It has access to Crystal Sword Altars, so that's a 3rd. Almost is done with the Dark Matters for a 4th. Just looking for either a Golbez or a Luca Key. Is not
Targaryen,
stopping,
yeah,
not stopping Troya, so he hasn't remembered that that tech is there.
yeah. I was gonna say that we both had the same idea there. Um, yeah, so I think if um Talgrand is still looking for like I think he might be looking for Golbez, ideally in his mind. Um with Bedward, I think for him Bedward is off the table unless it's the last thing he has to do.
Which means at this point you're going to be going all the way through the moon at that point. But I don't think it's going to happen because uh, unless Golbez is exactly at the package on the giant, you are going to see him somewhere and get through it. Just as a reminder about the flags on this one, the pass is off. So if you're going to run this through, you want the Crystal Sword to be your last stop. You don't have to come back to the Earth because then you're going to have to go all the way back up and run the LSD a second time. The pass. Hmm? I don't know, to be honest. If Tallgrant might have forgotten about Demist not being a thing in this flag set. I mean, we haven't seen Demist yet, so if we see it later on, Demist is fought and then goes there and sees that Riddy's mom is not there, that would be kind of the clue that's like, oh, shoot. Or just might have thought he already got there. I mean, Edward is one of those tricky ones. I like to do them almost immediately because otherwise it's just too easy to forget that you haven't done him and move on with the seed. Already got a crystal sword sitting in the Tower of Babel chest there. So Cecil will really go burr here. Personal note, when I ran the seed, Cecil did not have any holy swords on my end. He was rocking a defense sword all the way through to the end, which would also be why that Adamant Spoonward was really a thing on my end, because Cecil was just not pulling his weight. Feature Rich is going to be the first one to show us the Forge.
So we'll see if this does lead to. Let's hope it's Lightbringer. Otherwise, we're perfectly content with the Excal.
We don't want to make any Warcraft references here if we don't have to. Oh, and we're going to see the chest there on the by the side of the stairs. It's just a Dragoon armor, but shield, but still fun to see that.
So that's what you were referring to. I have never. I'll fast up again. I have never seen that spot before.
I have occasionally pulled that chest just to be funny, but if you're on a dark matter hunt, you have more incentive to pull it and just see if you're going to get lucky. There's 399 chests. I mean, most of us probably don't remember where all 399 of them are. Oh, Caliburn. Well, that's going in the junk pile. Yeah, it gets the bad news. There's one attack power on that, hence its nickname Excalibur. So, womp womp with the Forge.
So we're just gonna stick with the Excalibur.
We have a vanilla tower key here at the top of the Tower of Babel, which will lead right into the cannon room. Which, for those of you who are fans of this club, remember that last season the cannon room was often the source of some hilarious lore. No such thing with mind control cannons going on this time around. We just have regular cannons trying to make dwarven mincemeat. And we see it's a vanilla D-Imp. Wow, this tower is all sorts of vanilla.
Okay then.
I don't think it's possible with the vanilla item that would normally come out of this cannon room, though, so the vanilla is going to stop here. if I remember right, this is where you would get the hook in the vanilla game, if I remember right. I don't usually remember the vanilla path, but
I believe that's the when the hook does come into play, because I believe he's Sid says something along the lines. Well, no, I forget.
I think this is where Sid does the whole explosion thing and closes up the underworld and sends you to his staff to get the hook. Obviously, those cutscenes are cut out because honestly, it's a long enough cutscene anyways, just to go through the whole Lopez thing and the bridge falling apart and the airship scene and all the rest of that jazz. Alright, so Tall Grant is going to see now what that can room turns into, as BG Rich is going to go to the bosses on the Sealed Cave route. We already know that the item is the Darkness Crystal, which is... BG doesn't know it's there yet. This would allow a fate of the Dwarf Castle if he wants to, because even though he doesn't know it, we know the Luca check is of Zonk. It's just a arm rod, because Luca apparently has some interesting dating strategies. Oh, Grant is going to keep booting out and going to get the Dark Matters. He's one away, 29. For one more chest. Go to Aggert, see if you can swag it out of the last one there. Then we're going to do some swag walking on the plank. And BG Rich is showing us the... Oh, it's not showing yet because we have to get the Darkness Crystal first. He hasn't done the boss yet, so... Or, he hasn't looted yet, so the boss isn't going to show up till afterwards. I don't remember what showed up there for Tall Grant. Doesn't look like a key item, though. Oh, Pink Tail, okay. So that's a free adamant armor. That's nice to see. Stick that one on the Eddie and make him feel a little bit more useful.
So, yeah, and that means Cecil will keep his adamant armor that he got earlier.
And meanwhile, Tall Grant has gotten his 30th Dark Matter out of the robbing the Pokel's bookshelf there. Sad to see the Caliburn, but he's already got a Crystal Sword. Doesn't really care because that would be better anyways. On we go to trading these Dark Matters, get a third objective on the screen. We're just looking at this point for a Luca key and a Golbez.
So, I think if Tall Grant wanted to kind of play, or what was it? If he wanted to play the game where you find a boss hunt, like face check the bosses, I think you go up the moon.
Yeah, I mean the first thing you do is you go check the Crystal Sword altar, see if you get the twofer. And then if you don't, then you go down, probably finish the bottom. And if you don't see it there, you go up to the top and try to get it out of the Maza altar, I'm sorry, the Mirror altar, or then the Cave Value.
Oh wait, Tall Grant is gonna head towards Bedward.
Okay, must have read the flags or something and realized didn't have it yet. Not quite sure what to point out to him that this wasn't done yet. And there's the Luca key, so okay, that puts another one on the table there. So at this point, we don't need Golbez. He can just keep his filthy self out of the sea if he wants.
I mean, he better off. I think he's more better off just sitting back and watching the chaos unfold, if anything.
Well, he was going to do that regardless, but you know, he really wanted to give it to Cecil. Maybe eat him with a his dragon there, although it's not going to happen on Tallgrant's side because, well, Tallgrant's wearing an adamant armor on Cecil, so that ain't going to happen. Um,
I'm checking right now. I missed that one.
Okay, so we've got Tallgrant diving down the sealed cave over here. Already has the item, so as soon as he gets to the end of the bridge, the boss fight will begin. It's a Mylon Z from what we saw earlier. Comet orbs are for sale. Okay. Interesting question. Is the comedian here in the Feymarch? Because Tallgrant faded this. Did not bother to check.
He did. He did.
Ooh, the comedian is here in the Feymarch. So that's unfortunate news for Tallgrant because it means that Go mode has been sitting there really kind of all along. We need to go and do this Crystal Sword Altar, which is a little bit out of the way. Or alternately could have faded this sealed cave, which is a bit of a long haul too. Not the Golbez is quick, I mean, has a bunch of dialogue boxes as well, but good for BG Rich because this means BG Rich is going to be off to the moon after this. There is no reason to fiddle with anything else in the seed.
Yeah, I think here, this is a good spot for BG because at this point, he had already locked himself into not bothering with the dark matter hunts. So he was on the search for Golbez. So this is at least not on the Azura spots. Although then again, it's also on the, I believe that's the, I believe isn't the Leviathan like heavy on magic, or was it attack or physical?
The Leviathan spot is definitely heavily on the physical. You don't want to see DKC here, for example. If you do, good luck. It has decent magic power because I mean it's still going to cast an ice 2 at you. But I think the bigger problem is I think the spot is usually a little bit on the faster side, so you just want to make sure you can get off a Star Veil or 2. We're going to need Cecil to also pull the weight here because the reflecting is not going to get it done.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Cecil taking care of business there with the brat, so Callum, your jokes are not wanted here. Star Veil is up. I don't know if BG Rich got Bacchus wine earlier, but if he does, then this will be a simple case of just using the wine. Nope, I'm just gonna attack, but you know, Golbez is weak to Holy Swords. Magically do some damage in here. This should not be any real trouble. Grant is raising the whale. You're going to take Big Whale Cruise to the moon. We're going straight for a Crystal Sword Altar here.
Yeah, and that's all Tallgrant will need to do in order to get his crystal and finish. Go ahead and fight a big bad long lost relative.
And meanwhile, good news for both of the runners that they have both done it such that the Crystal Sword Altar is their last check, because without the pass and the seed, that's the way you wanted to run. Since we know Golbez is on the Earth, if Talgrain had gone to the Moon before going to get all the other objectives done here, he had to come back to the Earth and go back up to the Moon. Because, the current for the Dark Matters is on Earth, Golbez is on the Earth, so going Moon would have been a bad play if that had happened.
So that edge is very, very late, yeah.
Very late and very much not helpful, because we're only gonna get one more fight off on this thing probably before we get to see the butt. So yeah.
So I guess it's just have it here because why not?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's good for maybe throwing a spoon, but I think that spoon is better served on the adamant spoon word there that we have going, because there's 2 adamants. I mean, yeah, maybe you dart all the excals you don't need, but yeah. There are reasons to do it over maybe keeping one of the other characters, but I mean, Palom, if he has a nuke, it's not really all that helpful to have him around. Who knows? PG Rich is off to raise the whale. Interesting thing is, Valgrind obviously has more than 10 key items, so can do a grind here pretty easily. Whereas PG Rich is still only at, looks like, 9 key items, so does not get the bonus experience just yet. And that's because did not do the Tower of Babel and get all those associated checks off of that. Valgrind is having fun with dragons. They're not cooperating very well.
And BG Rich is also on his way up to the moon now, now that Golbez is defeated.
And Golbez is apparently really looking for... Oh, there's Cecil ruining everything. The edge is down. Give it another shot. Nope, onto the altar, it looks like.
Yeah, it didn't seem like Talgrim wanted another shot at it.
Yeah, so meanwhile, let's see here. Let's see what this Crystal Sword Altar is. It's very free. Officer Soldier, they don't have a boss bit. Palom can stone these. We can use a coffin on these officer to get rid of it, which will then make soldiers just turn on themselves, because there's that. We can get life glitch. The officer gets some bonus experience. Yeah, this is great to see.
Oh yeah, a double life glitch. Nice.
Stone did not go off, which is good for the Eddie because he was down at the time. And we'll hide from Cecil's evil plans to leave him down for the experience here. And the soldiers are no more. 245,000 experience. That is a ton of experience. 20 levels on Edge. Alum is up to Medio, so only needs 1 or 2 more levels to get to Nuke if Talgar wants to take the time. We'll see if he does. And it's a Pan. Not that we really cared what the key item was here, because real value is the crystal we're going to get afterward.
Yeah, and that's really the only key item you really need.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we still have not figured out how to beat a bot without a crystal. They're still working on that over at the scientist school. Counseling professor, let us know.
Simple, win game.
Well, our racers were a little bit up for punishment this season, because last season in Survivor, the win game flag was on every seed but one. In this particular case, it has been on every single race, because first race, it was on as an objective for Kane, because, well, we don't like Kane necessarily, and after that first race, they turned on the Z flag for the whole rest of the season. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of Z in this season.
Good to know. I'll probably come up with something. Don't worry. Again, I'm an apprentice for Luga, and I want nothing to do with Luga because I don't want to mess with life forms.
Is Luca included in that set?
I believe he's also a mutation, so I guess so. I don't know.
We have to ask the question here. It's like, are you going to take Luca out, take his spot, get revenge on the Doctor for his evil ways? You never know. Meanwhile, Tall Grant is on the way down the Lunar Subterrain to meet our resident Butt. So, Zeromus is kind of nasty in the sense we can't really move him or randomize him. The script would just be chaos anywhere else but here. So, by convention, we don't move Zeromus. He's always here in this spot. But, it's a randomizer. You can't exactly just have a vanilla final boss fight. That would just be boring. So, as we are seeing down here from our chat, there's a question we'd like to ask when we get here, Professor, and what is that?
Question is, whose butt are we kicking tonight? And then we have some follow-up questions like, is it cute? Does it even have one? Is it Turing complete? Can it help me with my 401k? Can it help me with my taxes? Stuff like that.
I've never heard of Turing complete before here as a property of Z. We'll see if it is or not.
That was my creation.
Ah. You should never Turing complete a final boss. That seems like it's a bad idea. Speaking of Turing complete, we have a puzzle here as a boss. How good are you at Sudoku, Professor?
I would need to screenshot this and work on it myself. I know how to play Sudoku.
I guess the question is here: is this actually a solvable Sudoku?
That's what I want to know.
I mean, I assume that we would not put up one that's unbeatable because you want to beat the boss, but stranger things have happened. Someone is working on their taxes right now. I would not trust this particular Zeromus to do your taxes for you. Looks like you'll be missing some information. Let's see. So BG Rich is moving through the LST. Did not go to the Crystal Sword till right away. Not sure why. Maybe just trying to get some levels. I
think it might be a case of getting levels.
Okay. I think still have those sirens burning in the pocket, although you want to get another key item first to get there. Maybe it was trying to get to 10 key items. I think features is still at 9.
That too. That is another idea. Although I don't know if you really. I mean, yeah, 10 cams is nice and all, but I don't know if you really necessarily need 10 cams at this point, where you already have some decent levels in the tank as it is. Probably if BG Rich wants to, I presume BG Rich took the edge, yeah, or no?
We'll find out shortly here when we get a save. Looks like no.
Okay, so I think maybe just to have it just in case, but I think here it's okay to just to not take it, or maybe it's for the Edward. I don't know, but
Looks like we have a crack and a boom here on Tallgrant's side. Eddie with the kill shot.
as it should be.
Hopefully you wrote down that puzzle earlier, because it is now literally just dissolving out of existence. So remember, folks, if you can't beat a Sudoku, you can certainly dissolve it, and that works just as well.
Sudoku is tough, okay?
Especially if you try making it even harder with some of the other variations on it. So, obviously no interviews with the racers because this is not happening live, as it were, but GG to Tallgrant, who finished with the official time anyways. Let me look at my notes here of 1 hour, 41 minutes, 9 seconds. So GG to Tallgrant, who also, as I recall, was the fastest racer who was eligible to make the seed harder, as it were. So let's see. Tallgrant's choice when he did this was to take out the warp glitch from our list of glitches, and also has decided to block a category from being picked the next time by our winning racer, or at least highest eligible to vote, and we can't touch the gameplay next time around. And the reason that Tallgrant chose that was, that's the way we get the pass active in this particular flag set. It's a trade-off. In return for the pass, the free item at Bedward is taken away, and you have to do the Demas taunt. But that ain't gonna happen for a little while.
Yeah, so this will be the last time you see warp glitch, I guess.
Yes, because unlike last season, there is no mechanism in the club this season to pick out a selection of a racer or to bring any character back who's voted off. Speaking of votes, actually, this is week 5. I'm sorry, this was week 4 that you're seeing here, this Cecil Seed. There was no vote actually after week 4, so we still are going to week 5, which is currently live in the club, with 11 characters in there. And currently, the hero this week is Sid. So again, shout out to Elvin, who is a fan of Sid in more ways than one. But that also means that the next vote, there are 3 heroes eligible currently to be voted off. We've got Cecil, Hallam, and Sid all in the pool at once. And spoiler alert, there's actually going to be a vote after this coming week in week 5. So those are the 3 characters that are eligible to be voted off. I'm not going to tell you how many characters are eligible because it could be either 1 or 2. But if you want to have a say in who stays and who goes, people who have raced one of the 3 seeds are eligible to vote. So if you want to hop in, what all the fun is about, there's a Survivor Hero Island channel over on our Discord, and join in and participate in either making the flags harder if you win, or having a vote in which characters stay and which go. And obviously with a Cecil on the table, there are some people who might want to see Cecil gone from the rest of this season. No more Crystal Burman. Or maybe you like get rid of Palom, reduce the black mage option. Or you could just, get rid of Sid when, I guess make all the Sid fans unhappy.
Sid's pretty good. Yeah, I don't mind. Sid's nice, although I don't know if I might vote him off.
Well, I mean, it's one of those questions. I mean, at some point, the party choice is going to get fairly reduced in this flag, but the way this mechanism is also working is whichever characters you don't vote out, they stay all the way to the end. So the question is not only which one do you not want to see, it's which of these characters do you actually want to carry forward to the end as choices. I mean, right now, Kane is going to be here the whole rest of the season, and Tella has been kicked out. But if you keep Cecil, it's like, okay, in that case then, Kane and Cecil pretty much guaranteed to show up, but not necessarily into white mages or black mages, depends on how all those things roll. And given the way the races have acted this season, I am expecting these seeds to get a little bit more punishing as we go along. And we have BG Rich taking a first attempt at Z here.
So, BG Rich will soon see Sudoku.
Yep, and most people Z is probably going to be faster to defeat than the Sudoku, but I'm sure there's some Sudoku whizzes out there who can probably get the puzzle done faster than the boss. I think BG Rich does Features have any adamant armors? I don't remember if he has one for Cecil or not. I think he does, but oh yeah, he does. Hello, I remember talking about that earlier. Only has one adamant armor as opposed to two, because the pink tail never found, never turned in. Not going to be quite as fast as it was for Tall Grant. Zerk up the Cecil. Use Silk Web to get off the first nerf. Or not, that was too early, actually. So that Sidar Veil is burned off. It also means this is not a nerf Big Bang yet. And Big Bang is going off. That's not going to be good. And we are down to a Sid and a Zerk Cecil. Unfortunately, the Adamant armor on, there's another shake. This is not going to go well.
Yeah.
Yeah, ugh. Alright, so that's going to be a reset there.
Cecil's still alive, but I don't know. Oh, okay, the black hole's now taken into effect here, but it might be a reset. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a reset because Cecil's going to still swing one more time, and Z is just going too fast. This is the situation where it's like the adamant armor should probably come off of Cecil and pop onto the Eddy to make the speed a little bit more manageable. I don't know what Cecil's agility is exactly, but I mean, compared to Palom and Rosa, I know he's definitely going to be a lot faster than those two. So we're just going to take another attempt at it. Maybe if that Silk Web gets off, it'll be a little bit nicer for the agility situation. Beecher is saying 42 might have been the agility, which wouldn't be a bad agility. It's a multiple of 14, but downside of that is, again, the two mages are very, very slow at that point. And Sid, of course, is slow no matter what. Alright, so the puzzle is back up. Eddie is over in hiding, so that's a strategy. Starvale up. And yeah, this is not nerfed again because D is just going too fast here. There's not enough time to cycle through all the turns.
Yeah, so down goes Rosa and Palom.
And unfortunately, that Silk is probably going to be burned now because the character who's going to use it went down. Another shake. Yes, this is going to be another reset. I guess Eddie can, well... Chat is telling us the Sudoku is solvable. That's good to know. Looks like BG Rich is going to get another attempt to probably solve this particular puzzle. Just the setup is what's killing here, because that Silk Web's not getting off in time, and it's just causing everything to sort of cascade out of control there, which is not an easy fight, regardless, unless you're like literally at everybody's at 4,000 HP plus. But
Yeah, that's another reset right there.
so let's see, doing a little bit of party checking there. I don't know what battle speed this is on. Is it 3 or is it 1?
I didn't get a chance to look at it. Just to answer your question.
Yeah, I'm just not sure because I know Z's moving pretty fast, but with Cecil being pretty fast too, I'm not sure if that's problem is just on battle speed 1, because battle speed 1 for Z, it's like you're going to move very, very fast. Unless you're being told probably switch to 3, which does give some time, and it's manageable if the Silk Web gets off, but Silk Web doesn't. Alright, third time's the charm.
Yeah, it seems like with the Cecil in play, it looks like it's like an agility of 42.
That seems like it'd be about right because Cecil normally, without the 15 agility from the adamant, would be around 27, 28 at this level. And 27 is actually the worst agility number I think you can have to fight Z, just because it is one short of switching the relative agility to where he is more in line with the rest of the party's actions. I've tried just to get on 27 agility. It is not a fun time. Uh, nor is it fun with a very fast anchor like for example, Edge or Eddie.
Right, yeah.
So we're gonna give this puzzle another try. So, Cecil go Burr. Silkweb, I'm sorry, Starveil is up on the Cid. Silkweb does go off, so that's good. Pick Cecil as a target. That might be okay. Could survive the nerf Big Bang here. Let's see. So Eddie right now is being kept out of the fray. We'll see if Eddie makes a return once this Big Bang is out of the way. Gonna still be limited in what Eddie can do here, just because, again, a nerf Big Bang is probably gonna take him out at his HP level. Sometimes, Rich. I mean, he can be rough depending on the setup. I mean, I recently had a C where it's like I spent over 30 minutes on Z with all the wipes I was going through just because I was not set up well for it and I was stubborn. You live and you learn a little bit here. Palom is bouncing off viruses, which is not a bad choice. Pretty fast, and we got a Shake coming up again. Trying to time it for the nerf. I think that's a few too many ticks, though. Or not nerfing at all, rather. Sorry. So that is probably curtains for Rosa and Palom. Oh, actually, Rosa survived it. Never mind. I mean, Cecil at least is not the fastest in the party. I mean, the normal progression, if you're getting Nuke on the mages, is he's usually right around the 27, 28 agility. That's the sweet spot. Zerg Cecil up again. We have another Shake coming up. Try to nerf it, but nah, Crystal's gonna come out a little bit too late. I don't remember exactly how the nerfing goes on this one, and now that Crystal's gonna come off and cause a nuke. Remember right on Battle Speed 3, it's supposed to be about 3 ticks of the sap you get from the Big Bang is when you want to get the nerf off. I could be wrong about that. Someone who knows better about the mechanics can maybe enlighten us. That's just what I seem to recall my attempts at, which don't always work. Eddie making an appearance to help us out with some healing. It takes a nuke to the face, but that heal was in time to keep him up. Getting recovered here. This looks like it's going okay. Eddie is going to go back and hide. Another shake coming up on Z here. Another Zerk. If that show was intended or a mistake, we'll see, because that's just going to bring Eddie down.
I think it
bad
really
roll.
Ooh.
Everyone is down now except Cecil.
What I was gonna say was that so it looks like BG Richard did say it wasn't input error for the show.
Yeah, that's been unfortunate there because I think he had it down other than that. We are at rocks, but unfortunately Cecil does not dodge rocks very well, and this is whoop.
Yeah.
Well, I do think BG Rich is going to have it though at this point. I mean, it seems like he had the idea, just had an unfortunate mistimed controller input error, and unfortunately many of us have had that go where it's like you're in a Z fight, it's long, and whoopsie, yeah.
Yeah, and that does happen a lot, so it's not. I mean, I've done it before, so I'm not the only one.
A comment there from Rich about virus strain when Eddie is hiding. That definitely works. Although if there's 12,000 HP to go, that can be a very long virus strain. Yeah, a bit unfortunate because Sid wasn't fully healed up because Sid had enough HP if he was at full to survive that. Just 2300 HP high roll. It's like that's just the not wrong time to have it come up there. Alright, so while BG Rich sets up for the Z fight here again, just want to take another moment to out of the restream team. We've got Joker Mage doing the restreaming, and Professor Render with me on commentary, Radio Caller pushing all the buttons. There's Garen, the club captain, and also the resident impersonator of Golbez, as it were, when he decides to show up. Thanks again to all of their hard work, because without the team, there would be no restream, and we wouldn't get to see all of the hilarity that runs along in this club. And also shout out to my loyal racers. Thank you for making the club a success, because without you guys, I would just be dumping text into seeds I'd be running myself, which would get old after a while.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Well, you know, I know there are people who read the lore, which it's coming, people. I'm a little bit behind with work, but you will be getting some episode recaps of the earlier episodes in the show coming up. I just have been a little bit behind in doing them because, well, one, we're doing a restream of the VODs. It's kind of anticlimactic. We already know what's going to happen in the seed before we even put it on stream. And secondly, again, I've actually just been a bit behind with work and such, so it's coming. It'll be awesome, like it hopefully always is for you. So patience, and you'll get rewarded for it. All right, so let's see. Looks like the initial nerf has gotten off all right. Eddie is again hiding as the emergency backup option in case things go a little bit awry. Thank you for the club plug, BG Rich. It's been fun having you. Veteran of Season 1, he survived. Is back for more. Tall Grant is a new racer for Season 2. We have a couple of the returning favorites from Season 1. So, hope you join us here. It's always a fun show. And, you know, if you're a person who likes hard seas, you can choose the nasty options in the flag sets if you win a seed or come close. Or if you're trying to avoid the chaos, you can choose some of the easier challenges to make this flag set harder. As far as choices go on the whole making things harder thing, I mean, I'm waiting for somebody to come along here and take away the back row glitch. That's going to be nasty if that happens. Or, let's see, other choices, let's see. Picking up adamant armors. It is possible to actually turn the treasures down all the way to money. So, I mean, there are some nasty options the racers can choose. We'll see if they decide to choose some of them or not. Because, again, the way last season went, I was kind of surprised that the Z flag was turned on literally week 1. I don't know how it's going to go in advance, but the seeds seem to roll with the lore, so good time.
There's the big bang that comes out.
Yep, and so far, BG Rich's strategy of Power Couple plus Sid is working, with Sid doing the healing work. For Black Hole. So Zeromus has eaten the universe several times over at this point. But it does look like BG Rich has this pretty well in hand. That nuke will not take out Sid here. Should be getting through. I think we're pretty close to getting to rock stage at this point, if I've counted correctly. We got another shake. Okay, so a little bit further away. I'm not always best at counting on stream, so pay no attention to me here. Math on stream, always a bad idea.
We're just getting ready for the... Oh, rendering rock space.
Alright, so we got rocks finally. Could have used to about 30 seconds ago to not make me a liar there. Thanks, Z. Rude as always.
There we go.
Practical boom. So, GG to BG Rich, who finished the seed with a time of 2:09:52. Do appreciate both the Racers Tall Grant and BG Rich for racing the seed and making their VODs available for review. And once again, thanks to Joker Mage for doing the behind the scenes work of downloading these VODs, setting up the whole restream there. To Viridia Caller for doing the button pushing on the tracking, and Professor Render for putting up with me for 2 hours, and the comedian when he showed up earlier in the seed. It's been a blast. Hope you had fun.
Oh yeah, this is fun. I might poke my head into the club if I ever decided to do it. College is, I'm wrapping up my final semester, so I gotta deal with that though.
Depending on what your way of getting out of college is, I mean, I'm not sure if there's a like a qualifying exam or or a dissertation or anything like that, but definitely wish you luck on finishing that up and getting through and getting the sheepskin there.
Mhm.
All right, so yeah, I think that I don't know if we found anybody that we can raid here at this point. I think I remember we were waiting to see if there was any choice, but we might just be signing off for the night here. Let's see. Looks like we're just going to be signing off for the night. So again, we thank you for joining us for the VOD review for the Survivor Hero Island Club. Once again, if you want to join, uh, visit our Discord. There's a channel for the club, and all of our great clubs are awesome. So feel free to check any one of those out. Our next restream is going to be, I believe, uh, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the Lunar Racing Club. And that'll be running at 8 o'clock Eastern on the Free Enterprise channel here where we are. And we also have upcoming, it looks like, there'll be a Wacky Races on February the 4th, Sunday at 3 o'clock on the Free Enterprise channel as well. I do hope you join us for those. When we get there, my name is Aaron, joined by